So I use this expression all the time, Dr. Google, and it's a funny one because here's the deal. I Google things. When I want an answer, I look up to Google all the time. The problem is Google is a catch-all of whoever has the loudest voice and whoever has the most backlinks or whatever it may be to express the answer, whoever gets on page 1 for that answer. And the problem with Dr. Google is that it really doesn't have a lot of application to what I do. I try, if anything, in these videos, not just to sell you perfection. I'm not here to just give you the glory and the perfection. I spend more time during a consultation, both in written documentation as well as oral documentation, to tell you the limitations and negatives of a procedure, not just the positives. And then if you hear me in these videos, I do the same. In fact, my video I just shot a few seconds ago about Get Rid of Eliminate is a great example of how I set up expectations for you. Because I'm not here to sell you, but I'm here to educate you so that you are properly well versed in understanding what I can and cannot do for you and to what extent. So Dr. Google, though, gives you all this information that I really think is erroneous, to me at least. So I'm always cautious at the very end of a consultation to tell patients, and you'll hear me say this, whether you're doing hair or face, don't use Dr. Google, because Dr. Google will give you false knowledge. For example, if I'm doing a hair transplant procedure for you, and it says it is, I Googled it and someone told me it's the most painful thing ever. Well, they don't have an accredited surgical facility. 99% of clinics out there, you're done completely awake and you are in pain. I mean, I hate to say, you're gonna feel needles being injected, you're gonna feel everything, but I knock you out with what's called level 2 conscious sedation, so you don't feel anything. You're out, you don't feel it, but it's a low level anesthesia. So it's very different from the vast majority of clinics out there. Or they'll say, I was in so much pain the week afterwards. This is just one example of many. I'm just using one example. And I protect the nerve and blood supply behind, whether it's a strip or FUE, so that there's minimal pain after that. And I also invented a technique that I'm probably the only one in the world doing it, but I've documented this in lectures, in published articles, as well as in my textbooks, of how to manage pain immediately using Botox in a way that's very unique. So you may hear, oh, I was in so much pain, and you're gonna say, well, I don't wanna do the procedure. But it's very different from the way that I do it compared to 99.999% of people out there. You may hear with a eyelid procedure that my eyes look weird for 6 weeks. I couldn't close them. I haven't had that in 20 years. And the reason is in other words, I've never had it, and I've been doing it in 20 years. I don't make an external incision, which can compromise what's called the lower lid retractors, cause issues with closing the eye, may make the eye shape weird, a lot of weird things. I was just looking on my Instagram page for a guy that looks crazy looking after a blepharoplasty. He looks absolutely outrageous. And I mean, his canthus is distorted. Now, most likely that will be normal. It may not be. But I'm very proud. I got to actually shoot another video. I've done this a long time ago about weird eyes. But I've never, ever in 20 years changed a canthal position. Canthus describes the junction of the upper and lower eyelids. And if that canthus goes out, in, down, or anywhere, it makes you look like a different person. So you may Google eyelid recovery and go, wow, I don't want that. Or I don't want I look at this before and after, the eyelid shape looks a little weird. I don't want that. This person couldn't close their eyes for 6 months. I've never had that. I've got permanent eyelid malfunction where I can't, have my eye closed properly, and my tear system is now a problem. Never had that in 20 years. So, and I do this, I'm doing 2 today. I'm actually between 2 of my eyelid cases. So I've never had that in 20 years, and I've been in practice 20 years. So I will tell you that Dr. Google is a very dangerous thing. And the thing is, I'm not scared of you Googling something to find out, oh, this could happen. I'm scared of you scaring yourself in ways that are inappropriate, because I will tell you the negatives. I'll tell you my track record. I'll tell you the pros and cons and limitations of every procedure in my hands and what I've experienced, not what Dr. Google tells you. So I encourage you not to use Dr. Google, even though, yes, I use Google for many things. I mean, we all have to. But I'm just giving you caution and word of advice not to do it when it comes to my procedures.